Good morning. Obviously a very busy morning this morning in Public Works. We are ready to start our regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works. Welcome to our middle school students for the highly anticipated competition that we'll get to in just a minute, but we do have some initial business that we have to take care of right away. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Wednesday, February 24th, 2016.
Commissioner Davis, James, Repenning, and Jacinto are present. President James, we have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Chimin Gong for the Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Barry Bergren, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Alan Kawaguchi, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Hannah Choi, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we did not receive any speaker cards under general public comment, nor any of the regular items for today's agenda.
Then let's close general public comment. Our first item of business, the approval of the meeting minutes from the meeting of Friday, February 5th, 2016. Is there a second to my motion that we approve those meeting minutes? By Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll approve those meeting minutes. Agenda item number 1, the receipt of bids for two public works projects, the first in Council District 14, the second in Council District 6, for the Los Angeles Department of Transportation bus maintenance and CNG fueling facility, 434-518 East through 518 East Commercial Street, Los Angeles. It's a federal project. The estimate, $34,610,000. Mr. Campos.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, opening up the bids today for the Los Angeles Department of Transportation bus maintenance and CNG fueling facility in Council District 14. The first bid received for the first project is from S.J. Amoroso Construction Company, Incorporated, for a total bid amount of $32,537,000 even. That is 32537,000 from S.J. Amoroso Construction Company, Incorporated. The second bid received for the first project is from Sinanian Development Incorporated, doing business as Sinanian, for a total bid amount of $32,104,930 even. That is 32104,930. For the record, line item 2, line item 11, and the total construction costs has been lined out, but it has been initialed by the contractor. The third proposal received for the first project is from Kemp Brothers Construction Incorporated for a total bid amount of $33,481,828.49. That is 33481,828.49 from Kemp Brothers Construction Incorporated. The fourth and final bid received for the first project is from USS Cal Builders Incorporated for a total bid amount of $34,956,162 even. That is 34956,162 from USS Cal Builders Incorporated. President James, that concludes the bid opening for the first project. We will now open the bids for the second project for the Van Nuys Police Station Elevator Addition at 6240 North Sylmar Avenue in Van Nuys, California, in Council District 6. The only bid received for this project is from Ford EC Incorporated for a total bid amount of $774,900 even. That's 774,900 even from Ford EC Incorporated. President James, that concludes the bid openings for the second project.
Hey, thank you. Is there a second to my motion that we receive the bids? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, the bids will be received. Thank you, everyone. Moving to agenda item number 2, Council District 1, Water Conservation Design Contest during this Engineering Week 2016. Sergio from Councilman Cedillo's office. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, President and Commissioners. Truly, this is amazing. And on behalf of Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. This is great. I think it's an opportunity that very few people, students, have, and we just want to thank you for it. So welcome to Engineers Week Celebration 2016, and I'm going to call our city engineer, Mr. Gary Lee Moore, to say a few words.
Gary Lee Moore has the floor.
Thank you, Commissioner James, President James, sorry. Commissioners, it's great to be here with all these students here. Can we have the students make a little noise? Okay, I'm sorry. That was a little noise. How about a louder noise? You can see I love junior high. Yeah, you know. I don't think I ever left. Hostler Junior High in Linwood, California. We'll just go down the 710 freeway there. It's just great to be here this morning to celebrate Engineers Week. And later on the agenda, we'll be celebrating the Rory M. Shaw Award. And Rory was an engineer. If you want to know what an engineer was, you look in the dictionary, you'll see Rory M. Shaw. And I just want to say to all the students, engineering is so much more than everything you see engineering can be. Whatever, you're on the roads, you're in our bridges, you're in this building. Engineers touch everything. And there's all different places for engineers to work. One of the things that we're out recruiting is all of you are from the city of Los Angeles. And we really want engineers that are from the city of Los Angeles because you care about this great city. So we're hoping that a lot of you decide to become engineers. And finally, can I see all the hands of all the women and of all the students? Raise your hands. All the women of the students. Okay. We really want you. You know, engineering, as predominantly in the past has been more male dominated. But we're really looking for all of you to consider coming into engineering. It's an exciting field, especially in the city of Los Angeles, where everybody's treated equally, and we need you. And our Chief Deputy City Engineer, where's Deborah there? Deborah, stand up. Deborah, you can be the Chief Deputy City Engineer in City, Deborah Weintraub. So we're just all hope that you consider a career in engineering and come to the city of Los Angeles. So good luck and enjoy your day in City Hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. Sergio, do you want to go to the scholarship competition guidelines? Okay, let's do that with Laura Rocket and Phil Davies, American Society of Civil Engineers.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, President James and Commissioners. My name is Phil Davis. I'm President of the American Society of Civil Engineers, Los Angeles Younger Member Forum. And this is my co-chair for today, Laura Rocket. We'd just like to say it's an honor for us to be here with you today to celebrate Engineers Week. And we'd like to thank you for your continued support of our program and your continued recognition for all the work that engineers do within our city. So today we have 3 presentations for you. These 3 finalists were chosen out of over 50 applications that we received. and the students were asked to come up with an innovative idea to solve the current drought situation that California is experiencing. You should all have a score in Rubik in front of you, I believe. And so you'll have 3 presentations, and the 3 groups are Monica Palmer and Angelina Sanchez, Cole Brunicky and Caden Jameson, and the 3rd group is Helena Ashmore. So each group will take a few minutes to discuss their idea with you. So with that, I'd like to invite Monica and Angelina to the stage.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Angelina Sanchez. This is my partner, Monica Palma. In California, you all know we're in a very severe drought. This isn't new news. But we can only conserve so much water, so we are going to be talking to you about our idea on how we think we could help the drought.
In Los Angeles, the city of Bel Air uses the most water. They use about 11.8 million gallons of water per year. In California altogether, agriculture uses the most water. The farmers use up to 80% of the state's water supply. Since we can't prohibit the farmers or the people of Bel Air from using the water, we have come up with an idea to help the drought.
In Carson, there's the JWPCP, Sanitation District. JWPCP stands for Joint Water Pollution Control Plant. This plant is north to the Machado Lake and west to the Los Angeles River.
We propose that we build a water reclamation plant in the lot behind the JWPCP. When the JWPCP is done treating the sewage, instead of sending it into the Pacific Ocean, it will feed the water through the water reclamation plant and make it into new fresh water.
When the plant is done cleaning the water, we will put about 25% into the Machado Lake, which is now drying, 25% into a reservoir, and put the last 50% into our fresh water supply. To make this plan more green and eco-friendly, the water reclamation plant is going to be solar-powered. The solar panels will go on the roof space of the already existing sewage treatment plant. The roof space on the Carson facility is approximately 20,000 square feet. Each 500 square foot solar panel produces approximately 5 kilowatts per hour of energy. Therefore, covering the roof space of the location with the solar panels will provide 200,000 watts of energy per hour.
Every 1,000 watts can clean 300,000 gallons of water. That means the solar panels would be able to clean about an astonishing 6 million gallons of water per day. A 5 kilowatt system would cost around $25,000 to $35,000. Therefore, the cost of the panels would be $1 million, and with that $1 million, we can produce approximately 6 million gallons of water per day.
You might be thinking about how this would make a difference if there are already a lot of water reclamation plants.
But for our idea, instead of clearing a part of a forest or tearing down an old building, we found a place that cleans the sewage and has a lot of empty space and thought, why not make another water reclamation plant there?
Our idea is very thought through, and we've done our research, we have a location, we know the costs and prices, and our idea is very eco-friendly.
We would like to thank our school staff and everyone who helped organize this event for giving us the opportunity to do this.
Questions?
Thank you. Any questions? Colleagues, any questions at all? Keeping in mind that this is a heated competition for a $1,000 scholarship. There's no pressure at all on these students who have already made it to the top 3 out of 50 submissions. So that said, yes.
My question to the two of you is, of all the things you learned in doing the project, what did you think the fundamental addition to your own knowledge came about as a result of this project? What would you say that you enjoyed learning most in doing this project?
Well, I enjoyed that I will know that it will help the environment, and yeah.
Okay. Same for you? That means yes, you agree? Okay, thank you.
Thank you all. Sergio, the next, so team 2, this will be Cole Brunke and Caden Jameson. And I'm sorry, I neglected to ask, team 1, are they in the same grade? What grade? 6th grade. Team 2, what grade are you in?
6th grade.
6th grade. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Cole Brunke, and I'm joined today by my partner, Caden Jameson, to present to you. The topic in which we will be discussing is desalination.
Desalination is a process in which salt water is purified into fresh water. This takes place in large facilities that cost about $23 million and require 15 megawatts to purify 1 million gallons of fresh water.
One of the issues of desalination is the cost, $23 million to build one plant. We have a solution for this situation. The answer is to reuse the salt that comes out, as you can see in this diagram, after desalination takes place. This salt could be sold for many uses, such as road work, cooking, and I have also done research on how people are starting to build saltwater pools, which I'm building in my backyard, by the way.
Using wind technology, we can solve the matter concerning the energy consumption of desalination plants. These special offshore wind turbines generally produce 3 to 7 megawatts depending on the size of the turbine and the speed of the wind. Just 1 megawatt is enough to power 240 to 300 homes for a year. To give you a perspective on how much energy that they create, meaning that we would need roughly about 3 turbines to power just one plant.
We propose to create a plant on Terminal Island. As you can see, according to our Google Maps research, there's a big area that could be used.
It is in places like this that we expect to make a difference.
This is what we expect to bring back. Places like this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
So, gentlemen, as someone who has looked into for some time the concept of desalination, I would ask you, you referenced earlier, Mr. Brunke, the costs. Were there other challenges that, as you looked into this project, that you thought might be encountered as you moved down the road to desalination?
There were 2 different problems. The energy to power it was one of the problems which Mr. Jameson has told us about. And then, like you said, the cost, which we came up with a solution for.
Thank you. Same problems I've run into. Thank you, gentlemen. Any further questions from my colleagues? Thank you, gentlemen.
We have another student here.
Yes. I see that we have another student here.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Our councilman from Council District 15,
Thank you.
Joe Buscaino. How are you, sir?
Much. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll say a few words and then head back to council. To our Board of Public Works, we thank you for allowing students around the city to come and present their amazing ideas. You just heard from Helena and Cole and Cade. You will soon hear from Angelina and Monica, all finalists from my former middle school, Dana Middle School. So we're so proud representing San Pedro. Dana Middle School is on the rise, colleagues. It's amazing where this school is heading to. under the direction of Mr. Gephardt, our principal, and our STEAM coordinator, Ms. Michelle Crow, all the administrators and faculty. You know, I'm married to a teacher. I know the hard work that they put in. And today you have a teacher who is shining, who is glowing with pride, and that's Mr. Ramanu. These are his students that are presenting before you. So, Mr. Ramanu, we thank you. We're so proud of you. And I want to just recognize the entire Bureau and also my colleague, Mr. Cedillo, for promoting. I'm happy to partner with him and Mr. Price, promoting E-Week here in the city of Los Angeles. And yesterday in council, as you know, we had an amazing presentation. We are exposing our kids to these types of careers in the engineering field, and we are really turning on and looking forward to them. To all boys and girls who are here, we are counting on you to think big, to dream big, and put your heads together to help with the infrastructure of our city, our state, and our country. So we can't be more proud of your efforts as a board, as a body here, and also working collaboratively with our school and our school district. I understand Wilmington Middle School as well. I'm so proud of Wilmington Middle School being represented here, so thank you all to the students from my district, specifically Dana Middle School and Wilmington Middle School. We're so proud of you. We love you. Thank you for allowing me to present. I also, before I leave, want to thank and congratulate Elisa Blank, who is your BOE Rory Shaw Award recipient. Congratulations, Alyssa. I just met Rory's mother earlier during breakfast, who was just elated and humbled to know that we have not forgotten about Rory here in the city of Los Angeles. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman. And our third presenter, Helena Ashmore. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Thank you. Hello, my name is Helena Ashmore, and I'm from 7th grade junior high. The California drought has been a major issue since 2011 till now. The effects of the drought are dried up lakes and rivers, which lead to extinction of the plants and animals living there. Also, there has been loss of crops, which means food loss. Well, there still are many solutions to save and even create more water. One is groundwater usage. This is when they use drills to push water up from the ground. Secondly is desalination. Desalination filters salt water to fresh water. Lastly, there's wastewater recycling. This filters wastewater into fresh water. Even though these are all great ideas, drip irrigation is the best solution for the California drought, and here is why. Drip irrigation is a system of pipes and tubing with holes at the bottom and which drip water directly onto the plant's roots. First of all, it pumps water from its source, and the water goes through 2 filters and evenly distributes the water through the pipelines. Also, drip irrigation runs on low water pressure. That means we can also save on fossil fuels, which runs the pump. Israel faced its drought in the 1960s. That is when they created drip irrigation. California farms are currently using large sprinklers. That is not the right way to go. Wind can possibly blow the water away, which is a waste, and also the leaves block the path of the water going to the roots. Lastly, when the sun is out, it can possibly act as a magnifying glass, and it can burn the plants. This way of watering is wasteful. Drip irrigation can also be used in residential watering. For example, my father uses drip irrigation in his backyard to water his plants. It is less work for him, and it can be used on a timer system. It is easy to install, and most importantly, it saves water. In conclusion, drip irrigation is cost efficient, conserves water, and is environmentally friendly. It would be a great improvement to our farming industry and has already been proven to be a success in conserving great amounts of water. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions for Ms. Ashmore? No questions from Ms. Ashmore.
I have a question for-
Commissioner Davis.
So you have really done a wonderful job in terms of giving us what the options are for conserving water and having some effective uses. You've chosen the drip method as I guess, the most important. If you did not choose drip, would there have been one of the other alternatives you would have secondly chosen? And if so, what would that have been?
I think it would have been the desalination because I think that is a great way to provide a lot more water. And possibly because of global warming with the ice caps melting, our sea level has been rising. And by using the filter for the ocean, it could possibly keep that sea level stable.
Great, thank you. And I think you've chosen a great area, too, of Israel, who clearly is a little bit further advanced in these methods that you've discussed. And so I think that was great research to bring that point out.
Thank you.
Any other colleagues dare ask Ms. Ashmore a question? Nice job. Thank you.
Well, now everything is on your hands. And we're going to announce the winner at 1:15 on the forecourt. So if you're anxious and you want to participate, I want to invite the audience to join us around 1:15 at the forecourt. And we're going to have one very, very happy student going home with a $1,000 scholarship. I know that the 5 of them are smiling, and they have done an extraordinary job, and we're going to continue doing this. So one more time, on behalf of Councilmember Cedillo, thank you very much for your support, not just today, but every day. I know that you have been, you're going to be attending some of the programs, you're going to be keynote speakers, and hopefully we can continue with this partnership for next year, and we can continue promoting STEAM programs for our kids here in the city of LA. I'm going to leave one magazine for you about Engineers Week. It has all the activities, and if anybody else in the audience wants to get one, we have a table outside. Thank you very much for the time and the opportunity.
Thank you, Sergio. I would only close with thanking the students, the contestants, for making our judging job very difficult. So we have a score sheet, and it's going to take some accountants from Price Waterhouse to confirm that we get the decision right. Commissioner Rodriguez.
I want to thank everyone for their participation and their outstanding presentations. It was just absolutely impressive. Each of the presentations, you were also poised and well prepared, and that speaks volumes. This is, when you're competing for a scholarship in particular, just like any other thing you will compete for in your life, you got to bring your best. And so I want to congratulate those of you that are competing for this scholarship. We know it's a big deal in an investment in your future, and I just want to thank you for putting yourselves out there and taking that chance, because it can be a little scary. I think it's just completely apropos that you're here on a day that we will also be honoring a member of the city family who gave so much of himself to his work as an engineer, but as an Angelino, as someone who cared about service. And, it is my hope that perhaps you might be able to stay here and hear a little bit of the story. We have some remarkable city employees that do so much to keep this city functioning. And I want it to be a really strong example for you in your life, in your career, as you decide to pursue a number of career choices that you have ahead of you. The amount of dignity and integrity that you used and apply to your life and in service, I think, is a very noble calling. And so I just want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for your efforts in helping to identify solutions for us as we continue to battle this drought. and wish you all the very best of luck in your futures. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis.
I just also want to echo and compliment particularly the students. I mean, in many ways, this is like the Super Bowl. And I want to thank all of those of you who have competed. I think each and every single one of you have done an outstanding job in terms of the research that you have gathered and the presentation that you have made. And for all of the other students who are here observing, I know that in the future you will participate and many of you will have a chance to present yourselves. So I commend every one of you who have come before the Board of Public Works and to talk about this project, but also I think you underscore how important engineering truly is. Engineers help to improve the quality of life in our community and in Los Angeles and in the Board of Public Works. On an everyday basis, we care very much about the work that engineers do and how they help to change and improve the city of Los Angeles. But finally, I want to commend our city staff, particularly Sergio, who has taken the leadership and the other council staff. I see Dennis there as well, and I heard that Councilman Kern Price's staff is involved. This is the kind of project that I truly personally believe makes a difference in the lives of our young people in the city of Los Angeles. So I want to commend each of the staff who's been a part of helping to make this the wonderful event that it is. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 2. So thank you to all the contestants. And Sergio, we'll see them all at lunch. Moving on to agenda item number 3, presentation of the Bureau of Engineering Rory M. Shaw Award. Our city engineer, Gary Lee Moore. Gary, am I missing something?
The student, I was just going to, I guess are they leaving or is I was
They're welcome to stay.
Oh, okay. No problem. Great.
The students are welcome to stay if they would like, Sergio. I just don't know what your agenda is. I think you may have it. Yeah.
Did I see the winner? They should see that.
They have to, Sergio said they have to.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's give them just a moment to exit the room.
That's okay.
Yeah, I thought that.
But Fernando can do it for me. Oh, you want to do that? Let's not do like Steve Harvey. Call out the wrong person. Yeah, Israel does a lot of desalination.
Yeah.
They're really great.
I'm old and okay. I get it. I get it.
Let's stop fighting.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
Ray, come on around so that we're facing.
I usually stand on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It's not really that it's my best side or anything.
Oh, no. We.
You get to stand wherever you want. Okay.
She was good.
So good. We won't block them too. Yeah. Make sense. No, I know, but it's like.
Extras. She knows I'm.
Commissioners, It's a special day in the Bureau of Engineering, and thank you for making it a special day in the Department of Public Works. You've been through these recognition awards with us, and now Commissioner Jacinto gets to join in us. But the most important person who's joining us is somebody who has just become a true friend since 2005, and that's Shirley Shaw, the mother of Rory M. Shaw. Yay, Shirley. Shirley hails from Traverse City, Michigan, and so cherry capital of the world. See, Shirley's like Rory. If you don't get it right, they tell you, and you just you get it right out there. But Shirley lives there and comes out each year to celebrate the award here. And we have the past award winners here with us also, and we have. Last year, we have 2015, Jackie Calvin, stand up here, this is great. We have 2014, Maria Martin. We have 2012, Hortensia's here. 2011, Paul Singh. Where's Paul? There's Paul. 2010, Steve Martinez. At 29, Gene Edwards. And 27, Isom. And so that, you know, in the awards application, we tried to capture Rory's qualities, and just a couple of them. Make significant contributions in furthering the Bureau of Engineering's mission and goals by performing his or her duties at a level of excellence far exceeding established standards. Recognized and respected by colleagues, clients, and or supervisors. And just one more that I share. Demonstrated extraordinary problem-solving capability. Well, I'm very, very pleased that this year's award winner has far exceeded those. And and let me bring up the 2016 award winner of the Rory M. Shaw, Elisa Blake. Come on now, yeah! So just a little bit about Lisa here. She began her career in 1988, believe it or not, but she's not going to retire, so that's key for us, with the Controller's Office. She then joined the Bureau of Engineering in 1990, currently serving as a Senior Systems Analyst 2 for our Systems Division, in charge of the, I want to get this right, Alyssa, Network Support and Business System Support sections. So that's important. You know, besides working full-time, she decided that's not enough, and last year she obtained her Master's of Science degree in Leadership and Management from the University of Laverne, and that's really an awesome accomplishment. I want to stop and just applaud that. You know, a couple of the highlights about her is that, you know, with her degree, she comes into the division, and Ray's going to speak a little bit, and our, her supervisor, and also Ted Allen, our deputy city engineer. But she uses what she learned in our division and makes it better. And so she shares leadership styles that promotes team building. And that is really a key word about Alyssa across the city, is team building. She also regularly demonstrates exceptional diplomacy skills while negotiating interdepartmental involvement in our technology projects. That was the polite way of saying she gets those grumpy people and makes them smile, okay? She turns those frowns into smiles in our other departments, and she does so that they don't even recognize that they're changing. And so she does it because she deeply cares, she's deeply intelligent, and is a true leader. She also, once again, that she doesn't have enough on her plate, she's also a mentor in the Bureau of Engineering. So she wants people to grow and have those opportunities. She also, on a side note, sometimes has to support the city engineer on systems support. Her most challenging part of her entire career to date. And it's just greatly appreciated because of her, you know, the same patience that she shows me, she shows everybody in the Bureau of Engineering. It doesn't matter where you are in the organization, where you are in the city. She shows the same diligence, follow through. It's just a real pleasure. And with that, I'll turn it over to our Deputy City Engineer, Ted Allen, to say a few words.
Thank you, Gary. Good morning, Commissioners. Just a few things to add to that. You know, Elisa and I go way back. I started with the city, with the Bureau of Engineering in 1993, and she was already there. And as many of you that know me know, I have an affinity for technology. I love technology. Sometimes not always easy to get the technology side of divisions to give access to everything we would like, but Elisa always helped me from those early years, whether it was getting permission to purchase Visual Basic or, you know, I wasn't in systems division, but she helped me do it. So we go way back. Her and I worked together on a lot of things. Three things that come to mind that make her a perfect fit for this award to me. You know, Rory Shaw, he wasn't the type that would go above and beyond if you asked him. He was the type that would go above and beyond whether you asked him or not. And that's Elisa as well. And the other, the other two things that come to mind when I think of Rory, I think of his smile, his great smile, and the same with Elisa. She's always smiling, and that's such a pleasure, and I really appreciate it. And the third is just honesty. Rory was honest almost to a fault, and Elisa's the same way. She's always going to be honest with you, and I appreciate it. And so, Elisa, congratulations. I'm very proud to see you get this award. So next, I'll introduce Ray Uyemura, our Director of Systems. It's Elisa's direct supervisor. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning. Much like our city engineer, having a relentless positive attitude remains a hallmark of Elisa's professionalism. Elisa is the consummate diplomat and engages city employees and business partners with grace. The Bureau of Engineering is very fortunate to have Elisa as an outstanding IT manager. Elisa delivers IT services above and beyond most, if not all, of her professional peers. She's an innovator, a tremendous resource to the city, and a profound innovator. Congratulations.
And with all the family and friends that are here to celebrate this award, please stand up. That are here to celebrate this, stand up, stand up. Okay. Stand up, stand up. Family, friends. It is with our great honor that we give you the Rory M. Shaw Award, Elisa. Congratulations. Yes. It's well deserved. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Commissioners, before I speak, I just want to hug Shirley. Good morning, President James. Good morning, Commissioners, Bureau representatives, the Executive Officer, and City Attorney. It is truly a blessing and honor to humbly accept this award on behalf of Rory Shaw. Thank you so much, Shirley Shaw. Thank you so much for continuing to allow the Bureau to share Rory's memory. This day is possible because of Rory's extraordinary contribution to the Bureau. And we thank him so much for that, for being such a great role model for us all. Thank you to the Board of Public Works. Thank you.
We want to hear you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you to the City Engineer, Gary Lee Moore, and the Bureau of Engineering Executive Team and representatives who honored me this year as the recipient of the Rory Shaw Award. Thank you so much to my Director of Systems, Ray Uyemura, for nominating me, but especially for demonstrating his exemplary leadership skills. His presence in our division makes a huge difference in the way that the Bureau operates. It makes a huge difference in our attitudes towards the work that we do on a daily basis. I would like to greatly take this time to show that I have extreme appreciation for two courageous and strong women. My grandmother, Panetta Kinnerman, and my mother, Velma Lee Horn, who are no longer with me. But they are both equally responsible for my strong work ethic. I would also like to thank all of my previous Bureau of Engineering managers and my existing managers, and my University of Laverne professors for far exceeding their required roles to mentor and coach me. It is my duty always to pay it forward and give back and to transfer knowledge to those who come after me. Today, I would also like to say how much I am honored to work on and support so many city projects with so many talented and dedicated individuals in the city family. I would also like to say how proud I am of my family and to thank my family today for being here, my significant other, my son, my sister, my uncles, my aunt, and all of my amazing friends. Thank you. Thank you all so much for your continuous love and support. I am a better person because of my relationships with all of you. And last but certainly not least, I would like to share this honor with the Systems Division team, and they are sitting here. It is my pleasure and privilege to work aside each of them every day. I am so thankful to be in the Systems Division. Together in the Systems Division, we collaborate and we're able to enable business for the Bureau and the great city of Los Angeles constituents. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a quote from Anne Frank. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment to start improving the world. Thank you.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Elisa, thank you. I mean, my goodness, your words were just incredibly inspiring and just so appreciative, because I think you're a reflection of what we know so many employees to be, but you're really the most exemplary example of that. And I'm just so humbled to hear all that you shared. More importantly, because I think every year it gets me. Shirley, I appreciate you being here every year. And, you know, as a mother, I can only imagine how tough it is every time to hear it. But I think it's so beautiful that we have such amazing examples of the legacy and the example that Rory left. And Elisa, it continues in you. And it continues in so many other examples that we've honored previously, but I think it just really, you reflect so much of that, and I just want to thank you for your work and your service. I've had the great privilege of working with Ray and the systems team to help try and really apply technology to so much of our work in a way that helps to deliver more efficient city services. And you guys really reflect the can-do attitude of what we know we can be in this city. And I just want to thank you so much for your service and your dedication and your humility and your approach to and your passion for your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis.
Once again, I'd like to echo and repeat the comments of my colleague, Commissioner Rodriguez, in saying how grateful we are, Alicia, to you for the work that you do as an engineer, and Mrs. Shaw for being here, absolutely, and also to the Bureau Chief, Gary, who is a very well organized administrator, and I think that a lot of the work that he does day in and day out and the ways in which we see engineers coming together is also equally because of his leadership. But Alicia, you are a shining example, as Commissioner Rodriguez said, reflecting the values that great engineers with integrity have. The fact that you all are so responsible for not only gathering data and helping to manage our infrastructure, but I do really believe that our engineers in public works are responsible for helping to improve the quality of life on the various things you do, despite whatever your subspecialty is, from civil engineering, architectural engineering, etc. That engineering is so key to what we do in public works, and it is just refreshing to know that you are a reflection of all of those values that you all practice as engineers in our, what I believe is a outstanding Bureau of Engineering for the city of Los Angeles. So I thank you, and just know that our board is here to provide any kind of assistance to your Bureau and to you that you might see fit. So again, congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Sinto.
Thank you, President James. Alisa, you are an all-star and you are my hero. Thank you for, congratulations for your career, for your service, for being you to the Bureau leadership. This is a big time. Look, everybody is here for you. So I appreciate all the comments, all the testimony from Gary, from Ray, and from Ted. To see the past awardees of the Rory M. Shaw Award is testimony. I am so happy that you invoked your ancestors, because you are from your mom and your grandmother. That Rory is from his mom, and it is true the cherry does not fall far from the tree. That to meet you, Shirley, this morning, and to feel your mana, your energy is incredible. And that's why Rory was, and that's what he did for our city. And that's why we have this incredible award that as a city family, and not just as a bureau, but as a family, because I see generations of our bureau and our city family here. It's so important that we embody those best things of our ancestors together with our city work, with our professional lives. And so, again, I congratulate you, and I'm so blessed to be able to work with this wonderful bureau as well as all our bureaus, but to have this opportunity now to bring our generations forward, that forever and ever our city and our bureau will know the name Rory M. Shaw, and now added to the list of all All-Stars, Alisa Blake. Mabuhay.
Thank you. Commissioner Penning.
I just wanted to join my colleagues in congratulating you. I want to actually congratulate all of our engineers here today. You guys make it possible, right? You build our world. You make things run. And we are really grateful for all of the talent and commitment that we have at the Bureau of Engineering. And, I've just been reading over some data recently and saw that only 20% of all engineers graduating with a bachelor's degree in 2014 were women. So I think it's great. We have a role model for women in engineering, and I'm really glad to see that you're being honored here today. And to all the honorees of past years, thank you for your excellence. And so to all of you, I'm grateful, and go get them. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations, and Gary and Ms. Shaw, thank you for the work that you do in continuing Rory's honor year in and year out. It obviously contributes to the excellency of the Bureau of Engineering that you will get to carry with you for the next year. So why don't we move off the agenda for one moment for photograph, and then we'll return to the agenda. Thank you.
Come on, family and friends. Come on, family and friends.
Fernando? Oh, I didn't know. Oh.
You're a good engineer.
Fernando? As soon as Adina walks in, we'll move to it. We just got to get her over here now. Did you send the message? Okay, great.
Do you want to take one item and then
Yeah.
give her 5 minutes to
Yeah,
walk over from
yeah.
the
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Going back on our agenda, agenda item number 4, appropriately from the Bureau of Engineering, recommending the board authorize $271,696 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $6,819,872 for the project, and authorize the city engineer to issue change order numbers 1 and 4 to JF Shea Construction for the Hawaiian and B Pumping Plant Rehabilitation, Wilmington Pumping Plant Rehabilitation, Fry's Pumping Rehabilitation, and San Pedro Pumping Plant Rehab projects. Mr. Bazzi.
Good morning. Al Bazzi, Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. So GF Share was awarded a project to rehabilitate 4 pumping plants that are owned and operated by the Bureau of Sanitation. The contract amount, original amount, is approximately $6.2 million with a 5% contingency. We have 2 change order requests as part of this board report. The first one is to change the classification of the pumps from what's known as Class 1 Division 2 to a more restrictive and protective Class 1 Division 1. The dollar amount for that is $112,000. And the second request is, it involves the valves. It changes the type of the material that's inside the valves from rubber to metal. For the past 25 years, Bureau of Sanitation has been leading a task of improving the pumping plants. And it's been a process of continuous improvements and implementing lessons learned. The matter in front of us here is definitely one of those lessons learned that needs to be incorporated in future contracts. As a matter of fact, I've already informed the design team at EED to include all future pumping plants projects as Class 1 Div 1. There is one project that's coming in front of you within a couple of weeks, the Manchester pumping plant. It will be Class 1 Div 1 and metal seats as well. The total amount I'm asking for today is to increase the contingency for $271,696.
Questions on agenda item number 4? I don't have any questions. Is there a motion on number 4 by Commissioner Jacinto, seconded by Commissioner Rodriguez? Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Thank you, Al.
Thank you.
Any problem sending agenda item number 4 forthwith? We'll send number 4 forthwith. Agenda item number 5, Bureau of Engineering for Council District 10, recommending the board authorize the city engineer to issue a revision of task for solicitation to AECOM Technical Services, increasing the budget authority from $89,305 to $145,310, including a $13,210 contingency to provide environmental documentation services for the Rancho Cienega Sports Complex Celeste King III Pool, California Environmental Quality Act Initial Study Mitigated Negative Declaration, and associated surveys. Mr. Tibbetts.
Mr. President, Commissioners. The proposal is to increase the budget for this project. Initially, we did a notice to proceed under the City Engineers Authority due to federal environmental requirements. Subsequently, the Celeste King building was determined to be a potentially historic resource, which funding was really not allocated for on the project. So we dropped the pool from the project for the demolition. We are still going to build the new pool. The proposal will include about $30,000 for hazardous materials survey and $6,000 to recalculate air quality, greenhouse gases, and about $7,000 to do modifications to the initial study due to the dropping of the pool from the project description, the demolition of the existing pool.
Any questions on agenda item number 5? I don't have any questions. I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 5. Is there a second? Commissioner Cinto and Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 5. Thank you, Mr. Tevitz. Agenda item number 6. Recommending the board authorize, this is Bureau of Engineering and the Bureau of Contract Administration, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue and advertise for requests for qualifications to establish a pre-qualified on-call list of small sidewalk contractors. Jonathan Carroll, something that we've wanted to do for some time. We look forward to this. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Jonathan Carroll, Project Award Control Division. We're seeking authorization from the board to advertise an RFQ for small contractors to compile a list of pre-qualified contractors to repair the sidewalks. This is the nature of these projects are going to be relatively small. Individual jobs will not exceed more than $100,000, and the idea is to help the small businesses, small contractors develop into bigger contractors and get them used to working with the city and teach them how contracting works with the city.
Or even stay small contractors but be long-term. And
whatever works best for everybody.
And repeat contractors.
Right.
Okay. Commissioner Rodriguez?
No, I want to say that I'm so delighted to see this actually coming to fruition. I know there were several efforts on many people's parts to help make this a reality. And, you know, in line with the fact that we're doing so much to make Boivin much more easy to navigate for small businesses who don't have the resources to just kind of learn these systems and our protocols in the same way that large firms have been able to navigate our process, to our Small Business Academy. This, to me, really reflects a full circle of our commitment as a city to help ensure that the little guy gets an opportunity to compete. And I'm just so excited because I think of what it also represents to a lot of potential, the potential for employment for so many people, that it could be really a catalytic force for a lot of opportunities for people that might be through an apprenticeship program, could be our next generation of city employees. This really represents so much. And I'm just so delighted that the Bureau and so many collaborators with contract administration and so many players in the city family have been instrumental to seeing this through, because I think it just represents the best of what we can be as a city and providing that opportunity for the little guy to be competitive. And so I want to say thank you so much for bringing this forward.
Indeed, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rodriguez. Commissioner Davis, your light is on, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment the department for moving forward on this project. Obviously, a project we have to do anyway, but what I like about what has been done is that we have embraced this great opportunity of inclusion. And this is a great and an outstanding vehicle by which to do it. And I think that the results of the work that will be done on this project will be of credit to the entire city, including the mayor's office, as we move forward. So again, I agree with Commissioner Rodriguez that this is a great opportunity for the city.
Thank you.
It sounds like we have a couple motions on the floor. It's the same motion. Commissioner Jacinto, go ahead, sir.
Really quick, I will join my colleagues in thanking Jonathan, Scott, and Carl, our collective bureaus, for working together to get this out. It's going to make our contracting process for the sidewalk more diverse, more to the neighborhood level, giving jobs to our nonprofits and other small businesses that will employ the diversity of Los Angeles. So it's a good thing all the way around for our city. And I look forward to continued work on the sidewalk repair with this as well. So thank you both, all three of you.
Salamat.
Thank you. I would only add, Carl, thank you all. Go forward and grow. The motion from Commissioners Rodriguez and Davis, I'll second. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt this agenda item number 6. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you, guys. Let's move to our supplemental agenda for today. Agenda item number 12 on supplemental. Bureau of Sanitation continued from Monday, February 22nd, 2016 to today, recommending the board authorize the director of the Bureau of Sanitation or his designee to issue amendment number 1 to existing task order solicitation SN5 with Tetra Tech Incorporated, increasing the total budget authority from $1,813,320 to $3,899,556, including a 15% contingency to provide on-call consultant services for GIS support for implementation of routing programs. And Alex, I see you. Go ahead and step up, sir. Adina Hoppenstand is here from the city attorney's office as well. Let me see if I can start the presentation with at least directed, and then we can go wherever you'd like to go. Just procedurally, we continued the item based on a number of issues that were raised by the executive officer in a discussion that we had during the presentation on Monday. We continued the item with the request that General Counsel for Sanitation consult with General Counsel for Public Works to address the issues that were raised by the executive officer. And my understanding is that there has been a supplemental document provided that addresses those issues. With that, I have had the opportunity to review the supplemental document. And Adina, Alex, if you want to summarize those in any way that you feel, obviously the floor is yours. I would only want confirmed on the oral record my understanding that it is okay for the board, that those issues are satisfied. It is okay for the board to proceed. So between Adina, Alex, Ted, and Mr. Campos, go ahead. Let's start with...
I defer to our city attorneys.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll begin by summarizing some of the analysis as to the compliance with the charter, which has been taken care of from the city attorney's perspective, and then defer to sanitation for some of the factual underpinnings. Just to remind the board, which I'm sure what came up on Monday, this arose because of unacceptable wait times, 50 hours or more for a 3-month period consecutively. Sanitation needed to act quickly, immediately to address that issue. So what it did was it used employees available to it or staff available to it through a task order, because this was the only way to get the job done immediately. Now, a task order is something that is basically, as you very well know, a work order from a contract, an on-call agreement that has gone through the competitive process. So you already have the competitive process being addressed in the very issuance of the on-call agreement that was awarded by this very board. So that number one needs to be clear. Secondly, as to the scope of work, I think there might have been a lack of clarity from the board report or perhaps in the presentation, whatever the case may be, that the scope of work for the call center assistance is really intended to be a stopgap measure. It is temporary. While the task order itself covers an additional 2-year period and 1-year option, that's because it encompasses other work, the GIS work, but that this scope of work really only represents a 12-month period. 4 months hence, work that has been performed and is sought to be ratified by this board, and at most another 8 months, and that's what the funding represents. So we're not talking about 2 years plus 1 year worth of work in the call center. We are speaking only about a temporary stopgap measure to address what was really unacceptable. And sanitation was seeking a way to take action in order to provide these services that were special under the circumstances, and when after reaching out to other city personnel to attempt to use the city family as a first measure, That was unavailable. The Section 1022 determination under the charter was made with respect to the on-call agreement at its start. This scope of work it was from the other services within the task order, within the on-call agreement. Because in an abundance of caution, another 1022 determination will be made with this scope of work, personnel assistance in mind, to the extent that there needs to be further, more permanent measures, and city personnel and funded authorities are not available at the end of this temporary solution. So from a charter perspective, the competitive process was initiated and took place at the start of the on-call agreement. And again, a separate, if you are looking at just this scope of work, there are further reasons under the charter to permit this from going forward without a formal competitive bidding or competitive process, which takes years to complete. So, and we had to act immediately, and we're only talking about a 12-month period.
Thank you, Ms. Hoppenstan. Very helpful. Any questions from Ms. Hoppenstan? Okay. Mr. Campos.
No, I just want to thank the City Attorney's Office for providing this additional clarity, and also the Bureau of Sanitation for being fully transparent in the process. And I fully support what the supplemental report indicates in terms of documenting the exceptions and the thoroughness, and providing additional information and providing the clarity in terms of the term of the contract, that we're talking about a 12-month term, not the 2 plus the 1 year that the board had a healthy discussion on. So thank you.
Okay. Any questions at all? Okay, then I'll make a motion that we go ahead and adopt agenda item number 12 supplemental, seconded by Commissioners Davis and Repenning. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item 12 supplemental. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the additional work in between the last 2 days. Let's go back to agenda item number 7. Bureau of Sanitation recommending the board authorize the addition of the Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund number 511 to the existing funding sources for the Bureau of Engineering Construction Services contract with Colich & Sons, and authorize the director of the Bureau of Sanitation or his designee, with the concurrence of the director of Office of Accounting. You know what, I'm just sitting here thinking, one moment. Mr. Campos, the item on 12 supplemental, the supplemental addendum, that's just attached to the board report, correct?
That will be entered into the record, and both the report was adopted with the supplemental.
Okay, great. Thank you. I just want to make sure we were clear on that before we moved along. Going back to number 7. And number 2, authorize the director of the Bureau of Sanitation or his designee, with the concurrence of the director of the Office of Accounting, to modify the funding sources for C-12891, the contract, as appropriate, for the design and implementation of various stormwater and water quality projects. Alex Vasquez.
Yes, good morning, President James, Commissioners, Bureau Representatives, City Attorney, and Executive Officer. This is Alex Vasquez with the Bureau of Sanitation, Financial Management Division. And before you is a request to add the funding source of Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund, Fund 511, to this contract. The reason being that the Bureau of Engineering is doing some stormwater work, right, and wastewater work, and this contract is only financed by wastewater. So they need this contract to do some field work. I understand they need to do some potholing to locate some utilities. So in order to pay them, we need to have a funding source for that activity, and that can be paid by the Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund. So it will not change the contract, the ceiling, or nothing. It will do anything, just a way to pay the contractor.
Just more accounting work. Any questions, any comments? Thank you. Commissioner Penning has made a motion. We adopt agenda item number 7. I'll second it, along with Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 7.
Thank
Any
you.
problem sending
Have a good
forthwith? Thank you. Number 7 will go forthwith. Agenda item number 8. 8, 9, 10, and 11, I'll read into the record. Oh, wait a minute. This is Tim. This is our tree stuff. Tim, come forth. Agenda item number 8, specifications submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids, Council Districts 6 and 12, for broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of Sherman Way from White Oak Avenue to Haskell Avenue and certain other streets for fiscal year 15-16 with the option to renew 2 additional years. Estimate $913,545. Bid receipt date Wednesday, March 30th, 2016. We usually just adopt these forthwith. We're submitting invitation for bids, but the council offices are excited for these to go forward. So I wanted Tim here in case there are any questions. Any questions all on number 8? Okay, then I'll make a motion that we adopt number 8 forthwith. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt number 8 forthwith. Mr. Campos.
Mr. President, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, I just want to also thank the Bureau of Street Services, Tim, and your team for not only delineating the bids that are before the board today, but also working very expeditiously and revising the common practices that you've had in your Bureau and providing the board the opportunity to review these and consider these items on a case-by-case basis as opposed to an aggregate bundle. So it did take a lot of effort, but thank you, and thank your team for doing this in a very speedy way.
Yes, thank you. I did want them broken up that way with 4 additional items. Maybe it's additional work, but easier for us procedurally.
I'm actually very excited about all this, too. This is going to create the environment where the trees will actually be pruned during the fiscal years that the money's allocated for, and we won't be behind the 8 ball, so to speak, but working with it as it rolls. And we will be coming back to the board on Friday with the last CD11, which was going to be another kind of pilot program, as this is actually something.
There are some distinguishing factors to that one versus these, though, right?
Yes, and
okay,
that
then we'll deal with that one when it's on the agenda. Okay. Moving to agenda item number 9, specifications submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids for broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of Lucerne Boulevard from Olympic Boulevard to 9th Street and certain other streets for fiscal year 15-16 with an option to renew 2 additional years. And this is for Council Districts 10 and 15. Estimate $597,915. Bid receipt date again Wednesday, March 30th, 2016. Any questions? Is there a second to my motion that we adopt number 9 forthwith? By Commissioner Rodriguez. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Number 10. Council Districts 8 and 9, specifications submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids for broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of 85th Street from Van Ness Avenue to Western Avenue and certain other streets for fiscal year 15-16 with an option to renew for 2 additional years. Estimate $552,690. Bid receipt date Wednesday, March 30th, 2016. Any questions on number 10? Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopt number 10. Any objection? We will do so. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 10 forthwith. Number 11, specifications have been submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids for broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of Rochester Avenue. This is in Council District 5. From Beverly Glen Boulevard to Veteran Avenue and certain other streets for fiscal year 15-16 with option to renew 2 additional years. Estimate $436,185. Bid receipt date Wednesday, March 30th, 2016. Any questions on 11? Is there a second to my motion that we adopt number 11 forthwith? It's by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Executive Officer, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Thank you, everyone.